Chemical bonds. Did you ever make cupcakes from scratch? You mix together flour, sugar, eggs, and other ingredients to make the batter. To put the batter into cupcake papers and then put them into the oven to bake. The cupcakes that come out of the oven after baking are different from any individual ingredients that went into the batter. Like the ingredients that join together to make cupcakes, atoms of different elements can join together to form entirely different substances called compounds. In cupcakes, the eggs and other wet ingredients cause the dry ingredients to stick together. What causes elements to stick together in compounds? The answer is chemical bonds. What is a chemical bond? A chemical bond is a force of attraction between atoms or ions. Bonds form when atoms share or transfer valence electrons. Valence electrons are electrons in the outer energy level of an atom that may be involved in chemical reactions. Valence electrons are the basis of all chemical bonds. For a video introduction to chemical bonds, go to video 1. Question: why do you think that chemical bonds form? The answer are chemical bonds form because they give atoms a more stable arrangement of electrons, which is what all atoms want. Why bonds form? To understand why chemical bonds form, consider the common compound known as water, or H2O. It consists of 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom. As you can see on the left side of the figure, each hydrogen atom has just 1 electron, which is also its sole valence electron. The oxygen atom has 6 valence electrons. These are the electrons in the outer energy level of an oxygen atom. In the water molecule in the figure, each hydrogen atom shares a pair of electrons with an oxygen atom. By sharing electrons, each atom has electrons available to fill its sole or outer energy level. The hydrogen atoms each have a pair of shared electrons, so their first and only energy level is full. The oxygen atom has a total of 8 valence electrons, so its outer energy level is full. A full outer energy level is the most stable possible arrangement of electrons. It explains why elements form chemical bonds with each other. Types of chemical bonds. Not all chemical bonds form in the same way as the bonds in water. There are actually 3 different types of chemical bonds, called covalent, ionic, and metallic. I will describe each bond here. You can learn more about the 3 types of bonds by watching video 2. For an entertaining song comparing covalent and ionic bonds, you can watch video 3. A covalent bond is the force of attraction that holds 2 non-metal atoms that share a pair of electrons. 1 electron is provided by each atom, and the pair of electrons is attracted to the positive nuclei of both atoms. The water molecule represented in the figure contains covalent bonds. An ionic bond is the force of attraction that holds together oppositely charged ions. Ionic bonds form crystals instead of molecules. Table salt contains ionic bonds. A metallic bond is a force of attraction between a positive metal ion and the valence electrons that surround it, both its own valence electrons and those of other ions of the same metal. The ions and electrons form a lattice-like structure. Only metals, such as copper, pictured in the figure, form metallic bonds. Metallic bonds explain many of the properties of metals. A coil of wire is made of metal copper. Like the other metals, copper is shiny and can be formed into wires and conducts electricity. So let's summarize. A chemical bond is a force of attraction between atoms or ions. Bonds form when atoms share or transfer valence electrons. Atoms form chemical bonds to achieve a full outer energy level, which is the most stable arrangement of electrons. There are three different types of chemical bonds: covalent, ionic, and metallic.